So again, we're gonna be cutting another hole into the sliding door for a sliding door window. Give you a lot more visibility when you're driving around, and it's also nice to just have one big window. What's really nice about all of these is you follow the stamp of the stock vehicle stamp. And what I mean by that is you basically just follow this hole. So there really is no measuring, there's no, craziness like that. Drill your hole in the side of the thing and then just go to town with a jigsaw. You might need to use a body saw for corners or get fancy with your jigsaw to get around those corners. What we've done right here is we have put some gaffer's tape just to protect some of the areas. The clamp ring does cover the majority of it, but we have seen in the past, if you have some stuff on the base plate of your jigsaw, you can kind of mar some of that paint up. So make sure this guy is clean, and it's not bad to throw a little bit of tape in there around your corners to try to keep everything clean and fresh. So we're just installing a CR or a CRL fixed window, and this is the clamp style. You can install the urethane windows. Those are also very nice. I like the clamp ones a little bit more because you don't have to use that rubber tubing piping to trim the whole thing out, and I think the clamps just look a little bit better. We'll put the product part in the description, but it's a very, very easy window to find, and it's also a very easy window to install. All right, we're gonna go through and get this window installed. We're gonna gut this hole and get the thing popped in. For our drill with our step bit, that's just gonna get us started and super easy to use. Again, don't get too close to the edge because you'll blow out that edge and you'll dig into this trim ring or this stamp, this stock stamp. So again, when we get to the corners, a big burly jigsaw like this might struggle a little bit. The body panel saws, they're pretty cheap on Amazon. You can always pick those things up, but those really allow you to traverse these corners without, digging up the stock stamp, and gives you a much cleaner cut and less grinding. All right, so we have the whole bottom section of this window cut out. Mike is on the outside installing gaffer's tape. If you don't have gaffer's tape, a hand, definitely want to make sure you catch this thing. So again, start at the bottom, work your way up, body saw or whatever you can. These corners can be a little bit tricky with a jigsaw. And then again, body saw where you get the corners and the straightaways with the jigsaw. I got it from the inside.
You can push it out my way.
Oh. And there you have it. This is probably the easiest hole to cut. Everything is guided and everything is, fairly straightforward. Protect a few of your key areas and make sure you mark where the braces are so that way you don't get off track. Pretty simple. And then we're gonna go through the same thing, buff, clean the outside, test fit, paint, and install. So before we get finished up and get sanding, take all that gaffer's tape off or any kind of protective tape that you've used. Give your hole an inspection and make sure you don't have any pieces. I probably need a little bit of a buff right here. We'll go ahead and test fit this thing now to see what we might need to shave down and go from there. One of the nice things about putting windows in your van is you really transform the look. It looks like something that might not be a work van, is something that's actually more of a clean looking, sleek vehicle. So we like to toss at least a few windows in. This one's only getting 2, but we really like to throw bunk windows in this one as well. Just really kind of opens up your van and makes it feel a little more homey. Yeah, we definitely use shaving in this corner. Perfect. So that's some beauty about, you know, test fit the thing before grinding stuff out. So that way you have an idea, like we need to go a little bit slimmer here and a little bit up here. So being able, this is like a 2-person job. You know, I don't think it's very wise to do by yourself, and I don't even know if you can, but it's definitely worthwhile to have friends, pay them in beer. So one thing I look for after grinding is making sure that cut piece of metal is just going to be flush with that stock stamp. So that's what's really going to make this whole thing fit. One thing I also didn't mention, lock your door so you don't chop that thing off. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we see the window fits, everything looks square, we're good on the outside. Perfect, so we'll pop the thing back out and get it out. This can be a little bit of a tedious and frustrating process. Not all windows are perfect and they're not all the same, so that stock stamp you might need to shave out a little bit more. It's just kind of the name of the game. These can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes they're super, super smooth. But if this does feel like it's too much for you, and you're in the Boulder area, we install these things all the time. And I'm sure there's people near you that can install these windows as well. But if you have the proper tools and a little bit of time and some patience, it's a cakewalk. So don't be too intimidated. It might be a little bit more of a process than you were anticipating, which really goes with every single aspect of the van. So give yourself some time. So again, like every other cut, get it nice and painted up so all your work doesn't rust away. Sure you got it all sealed up. Let that dry for a little while and toss your window in. And just like the other one, spraying a little bit of glass cleaner on the seal so you can wiggle it around because it might not fit just perfectly or whatever it may be. So give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and then install a couple screws and then make sure you get every single screw started before tightening them all finally. All right, now we're gonna toss this window in. Make sure you have your trim ring, your drill bit, and keep a couple screws in your pocket. All right, I'm gonna get it started and then we'll shift it up. When you want to get this thing started, if you get this thing cut right, there are grooves inside this window. Oop. And you want to make sure the thing isn't sitting too far down. So now, slide the thing up because that's probably where your leaks are going to be coming from. It's centered on the side. Get this one started a little bit more, just enough to keep the window in one place. So that's probably enough. All right, how does it look on the outside, Mike? Cool. So now, we're sitting up high, get some of these other guys started. And again, you just want to get all these things started. You don't want to hammer them all the way down because this aluminum likes to move around a little bit. So it's nice to get everything started. So that way you're not struggling trying to get one single screw in. Like kind of work our way around, get an even pinch on the thing. All of them seem to be there. So the thing is fixed right now and it's not going anywhere, I like to try and start from the middle and work our way out so you're not pinching and then having some weird little fold right there. So kind of like a tire, if you will. A little bit of a work your way from the inside out. Awesome, you did it. Seriously, this is a huge step, and hopefully this built a little bit of confidence and instilled like your ability, like you can do this van build. So no easy task, applaud yourself, pretty cool stuff. So you're not quite done though, so definitely gonna wanna let that dry overnight, but a good thing to do is take a hose and spray the exterior of your windows and make sure you don't have any leaks. It's best to find these things now before you have a wall covering, you know, all the leaky parts. So it's pretty easy. Get a ladder, 2 people is great, and then just spray all these edges and behind. Make sure you don't have any leaks. Another good thing to do right now, completely clear and clean your van. Get all these metal shavings out. These things stick in dogs' feet, they stick to your shoes, they're nasty. So get that stuff out of your van, give a nice good scrub down and start fresh. What we're gonna be doing next is going to be doing the rough wiring of the van. So we already went through and plotted where we're gonna put our components, where we're gonna put our lights, where we're gonna put our switches. So now we need to run the wire to power all of those components. So we're gonna walk through proper wiring techniques, gauging, getting everything mounted, zip tied, and stationary. So once all this wiring is buried, you never need to think about it again, and you're never gonna have a problem. So we'll go over that, and then we're gonna go over insulation, and then we'll get onto the cool stuff to make your van look pretty. But first and foremost, get the foundation nailed.